Hi everyone, and welcome back to Dimensional Dreams. This is DeeDee, and I'm so glad to be here with you today, exchanging some energy. It's actually really, well, I was about to say really late, but it's actually really early in the morning. It's about to be 12:12, which is, for me, I always look at 12:12 as, oversoul, the 12th dimension. That's what I see when I see 12:12, and then when I see 12:13, I'm like, okay, going beyond the oversoul. So I try to pay attention to what's going on around those numbers when I consciously recognize it. So anyways, today is September 30th, and I'm going to be posting a whole lot of videos today if I post it today, I guess. But I was actually listening to something, and it sparked a dream that I had that I wanted to talk about. So this dream had a very interesting background. It's one of those dreams where it's really, really difficult to just say exactly where it started, but there's a lot of activity going on around this dream. So in this particular dream, was this 2019? I think it had to be 2019. So before this dream, there was a lot of just strange activity going on. Now, of course, this was December 2019, right? So we're gearing up for COVID, even though we don't know that COVID is on the way. Okay. And the interesting thing about it is that actually Ray had a dream of the spiritual leader who came to us in a dream. So this was in his dream. He had a dream about this spiritual leader that came to us in a dream on December 23rd. And he actually opened up a portal in our living room in the house that we're living in. And Ray said that there are all these codes that filled up the house. And we had to, prostrate ourselves, in respect to him and his wife. And that was pretty much the dream. And so when he told me that dream, and like I said, this was December 23rd, 2019. When he told me that dream, I immediately said, I was like, oh, something must be coming because he's gridding the house. And I was like, what in the world could be coming to where he's gridding the house? And this spiritual leader is someone that we knew, and it's like a whole story, and maybe at some time I'll talk about it, but it's someone that we definitely knew and played a very significant role in our household and even in our marriage. But it's someone that I hadn't seen in a while. And so I was actually kind of surprised that he was the one that showed up to the house to grid the house. And so I was like, wow, why is he gridding the house? And I also was like, I didn't know that we even had a portal. But I mean, I guess he just made a portal. I don't know. But I think that I remember Ray saying that there was just a portal on one of the walls, and that was the wall that he went to. So I think our house was actually just on a portal or something. But anyways, so this is going on. Now, a kind of background theme is that I have a friend, and we kept getting all of these connections to the Bethlehem star, okay? We kept getting all of these connections and everything to the Bethlehem. Okay, so when did I have this annular solar eclipse dream? Did I have that dream July 2019 or July 2020? I'm going to have to really see what day it was. But yeah, I'm going to have to really see what day it was. Oh, hold on. So this friend and I were having connections to the Bethlehem star. We're having dreams about women with stalks of wheat, and it was like 3 women, and they had babies, and we kept getting it connected to the 3 pyramids. I actually had like a really interesting dream about this field of wheat too, and it was like a field that I was really connected to, and that's like a whole nother story, but I was really connected to this field, and I was like almost walking through time. And I was walking with this group that also remembered this field, and it used to be like a sacred site, like a long time ago. And I remember just looking at the field and crying because it just had not been taken care of over like the thousands of years since I had seen it. That's a whole nother story though, because it had to do with Philadelphia and a whole bunch of stuff. So I'm gonna get back to that later. But anyways, so we're seeing all these connections, and then of course in 2019, there was so much going on during this time period. I'm gonna have to do the other dreams at a different time, because it was even specifically just that area of time from like December 20th to New Year's was just really jam-packed with information. So anyways, let me focus, okay? Focus, okay. So anyways, this particular day, I went to sleep. There's just a lot going on in general. And it was not too long after I had this dream about, well, no, Monteleone was back in Ursuline. So it was quite a while. Was it quite a while before I actually went to Monteleone? I think it was probably like a year before I actually went to Monteleone. Okay, so anyways, there's a lot going on, okay? Basically, there's a lot going on, okay? And so in this dream, I was in Venice Beach, okay? Let me give a little bit of background about this specific space in Venice Beach. So there was a time period where Ray and some friends ended up going out to Venice Beach. And then at that time, we had a friend who was living like very close to Venice Beach. I think he actually lived in Venice Beach, but very close to like, Venice Beach, Santa Monica Pier. And if you know about that, they're very close to each other. And so we end up spending like this, I hope it hasn't been covered the whole time. But anyways, we end up spending time in a friend's apartment out in, I think that one was in Venice Beach. But anyways, you get the point. We end up spending a month out near Venice Beach. And there's one day that I was going out and I wanted to just like explore some. And there was this little spot, because I was trying to look for like a little tea spot or some little place I can go get some little sandwiches, especially like vegan options and stuff. And there's this one particular place that came up, and I really felt drawn and called to go there. However, when I got there, I realized that it wasn't open all times of the day. So there was like a specific time frame that it was open. And I was outside of that time frame. So I think it didn't open up until later on, like in the evening, like 12. And I was trying to go at like 8 o'clock in the morning. So I just ended up leaving that place and going to find the library. Which I was like, I still didn't get any food because I was hungry. But whatever, that's not the point. And so, like I said, I went outside of this place, but it was closed. And so I decided to go somewhere else. And so fast forward to this dream. So that was back in 2017. Okay. That was back in 2017. And I was bringing up Hotel Monteleone in New Orleans because I had this dream where I was speaking to all these different spirits in a hotel room at Monteleone, which I had never been to. And I must have heard about Monteleone like in passing or something, because I did know that it was a hotel. And even in the dream, I saw the front of the hotel, but I didn't really have a conscious recollection of Hotel Monteleone. So like when I actually went over there and saw it and walked in, I almost passed out because it was like exactly what I saw in my dream. But anyways, I didn't actually stay there and get a night because I wasn't about that action, But I did go there, and I asked the women at the desk. I was like, I didn't know how to start the conversation off. Like, hey, I had a dream that there was a lot of dead people here that, could need to be passed on, I guess. And so the only thing I could think of was like, have you ever had paranormal investigators come here? And it was so funny because it was like two Asian women, and they kind of laughed like, this girl believes in ghosts and stuff. But they did go to the back, and actually there had been some Ghostbusters there, and it's not called a survey, but, I don't know, stakeout or, whatever you call it, ghost busting service. They ended up doing one on it. So I read it, and I thought it was interesting because they were from Santa Monica. And it immediately made me think about this place that I didn't go to, which I probably should have. So fast forward, because that situation was like in 2018, because we were still in Ursula until like 2018, okay? And so fast forward to 2019, so this is spanning over 2 years of this connection to Santa Monica, Venice Beach. So fast forward to this dream, and I wake up in the place that I was going to go to, but I didn't go to. I woke up in that little, restaurant situation. And I immediately recognized it. So I wasn't lucid enough to know exactly where I recognized it from, but I knew that it was a place that I was supposed to go, but I hadn't gone. And so I finally got to go there. And I was like, oh, this is so cool, because this is the place that I wanted to come and check out. And I was really excited because I wanted to see about, their food options and what little fun drink options they had. So I was really, really excited. And it was like a cute little chill spot. It was a very petite spot. And so I'm like really excited walking in, and there's like these cool semicircle booths and stuff that look really comfortable. And so there's also like when you first walk in, there's like this big old bar situated. It's not big because the place is not big, but the bar takes up most of the room. Okay. And then there's like a little small section, for like open night. It looks very catered towards like poetry open night. Maybe like a guitar player, like one guitar player, but very petite place. And so I'm going up to the bar and I'm ordering just some ginger ale, right? And so the guy that's working there, like if I saw him, I could pick him out. The guy working there is like, are you just coming here for ginger ale? I'm like, yeah, I just want to see what the menu is like. It's the first time here. I'm not really much of a drinker. And I think at that time I was like, was I pregnant? 20? No, I just had Rose. So I wasn't pregnant. I was just newly not pregnant, okay? And so, as he's like making someone else's drink and he's going to get to my drink, I see a celebrity come out, okay? So I'm going to name him something else. I'm going to name him Chad. That's what I want to name him, Chad. We'll call him. I literally have no clue why I'm naming this man Chad right now. But we're going to call him Chad, okay? We're just going to go with it. Let me see. What does Chad mean? Oh my gosh, no, because isn't it like being a Chad is like a macho man, but like kind of a derogatory term or something like that? Like being a Chad? Okay. I don't know. Maybe he gives Chad vibes. I don't know. So anyways, I see Chad, okay? And Chad is like a pretty, big time celebrity. And I thought it was weird that Chad was like in this place because he was about to do like his greatest hits, okay? So that's how I knew something was off, because he came there and he started off with like one of his very first singles. And I was like, okay, so either he's doing this for free and he's just doing old hits, or there's something up with him being here. Like, it's just like the epitome of a place that you would not see Chad. So I was just like, why would he be here? So that's when I'm still waiting for my ginger ale, and I'm, being DeeDee, I'm like super curious, like, okay. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna just observe, you know what I'm saying? Just look around, just kind of see what I can put together, what I can find out. Because this is strange. And I'm usually not a nosy person. I really am not. Like, I promise you, really not. But sometimes I get the inclination to be nosy. And so, child, he gets up there, and the other thing I thought was weird is that there was really nobody there listening to him. Like, there wasn't, like, a promoter. There wasn't, you know what I mean? Like, there was really nobody there. It was, like, me and two other people. So the next thing I know, this guy's handing me my ginger ale, and I'm going to go sit back down in this really cool semicircle kind of booth situation. So I'm like, I don't know what's going on, but I'm just going to go sit down, drink my drink, eat my food, and just observe. Could you observe long enough and things come out? Okay, the truth ends up coming out. And so I'm going to head back over there, but then there's this woman that shows up, okay? And she is programmed to, like, be my friend. Now, I don't know exactly what these beings are, like, in the spiritual realm with the astrals, because I don't know if she was a servitor. Like, I don't know what she was. But I knew that she was, like, programmed to be my friend. So she came up to me and she started laughing. Like, she just randomly started laughing. Just like, girl, you are so funny, I'm like, friend, I'm like, what is wrong with this being? But anyway, so she orders this drink, and she's supposed to be like the lit, young, we're just young, having fun type of vibe or whatever, which also is just not my vibe either. I'm an old soul. I'm not trying to be no foolishness or anything like that. I'm not really interested in, acting a fool and stuff. You know what I'm saying? I'm just not. Now, you might catch me on the right moon cycle, child, and, it might be different. But in general, okay, in general. So she's, like, doing the most, and, like, I'm drunk, and it's lit in here, which it was not lit. It was, like, two other people in. I'm like, friend, it's not lit. Like, it's not. Like, all the lights are out. What do you mean? Anyways, let me focus. So I'm like, I guess I'm supposed to be just playing along. So I'm like, ha ha ha. Like, yeah, this greatest hits. These greatest hits are great. Sorry, I'm like tired. I'm about to get off of here in a second. I'm gonna, like, wrap it up. But I was just yawning. So anyway, like, yeah, Chad's greatest hits. Chad's greatest hits are great, Chad's greatest hits are great, right? Like, I'm totally killing the vibe. Like seriously, I am. And so anyways, Chad comes over there, right? And I told you in the dream world, you got to keep it calm, cool, and collected. And anyways, that's not necessary to say. So anyways, so Chad came over there, and he was ordering him a drink. And he was like, why don't you girls come follow me upstairs, right? So at this point, I have a decision, because I'm like, okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, immediately my Capricorn Virgo placements start going crazy. And I'm like, go up there for what? Like, what are we supposed to be doing up there? Like, hold on, because I need to draw a boundary before you start talking about what we're going up here to do. Because this woman right here, she's seeming kind of loose right now. And she might be into a whole lot of stuff. But I'm not about to pretend with you, because, you know what I'm saying? Like, and that's an aspect of my personality. So the drunk one is kind of, the girl's like, come on, girl, let's just go, and blah, 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 blah. So I'm like, okay, am I just going to, like, am I going to go this far with it? Like, am I going to, like, go up there and take a chance on whatever's going on? So I'm like, okay, don't be a granny panty. Like, let's just see what's up there. Like, let's just see what's going on. So child leads us up to this second floor of this place, okay? And it's very much a place like, you know, when you have like a venue and then there's a spot somewhere ducked off where the performers are. They sit and talk to each other, chat, and things like that. So it's one of those type of spaces, okay? So as we get in there, there's all of these people. I guess it's like Chad's posse or whatever. And everybody is kind of separated, like into little groups and stuff like that. So me and this woman who's supposed to be my friend, we just go to the back of the room and just kind of sit there because it's very awkward. And so as we're talking and everything, I start getting really antsy because I'm like, okay, like I didn't really come here. Like I think somebody started lighting up a blunt. Like somebody else started, you know, like the energy felt like it was about to start transitioning to something that, you know what I'm saying, I wasn't comfortable with. Like it wasn't really just about the weed or just about the drink, but it just felt like the energy was starting to get, I don't know. It's like when you go on Instagram and you get those messages from random people and they're like, hi, you know, and that's all they say. And so it's not really much to go off of. Like, you don't know where the conversation's about to go, but it could get weird. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it could get weird. And so you have a decision. Like, okay, do I just, like, nip it in the butt right now and, like, whatever possible you're about to say, just forget it all and get away from me? Or do you, like, kind of play this weird high game? You know, not really a game, but you know what I'm saying? Like, do you feed into it to kind of see, like, if they're just a shy person? You know, like, and, you know, they have a question to ask. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. So I'm like, ooh, the vibes are starting to get kind of weird. And I don't know because I'm starting to feel like I need to leave. And so I get up and I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to commit to leaving. So I get up and my friend's like, no, girl. So she's kind of whispering to me, okay? So she's been like the loud mouth the whole time. But now she's like, like, let's, like, sit down. That's kind of what she was saying. Like, you know, don't go yet. Don't leave yet. Blah, 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 blah. And then Chad comes over and is like, oh, goodness grief. Child, I'm about to fall asleep, okay? You know what? I'm going to just go ahead and finish this tomorrow, okay? It's not going to make a difference if you listening to it. I'm getting tired, so I'm going to come back tomorrow, okay? Good night. Okay, hey everyone. Hi everyone. Okay, so let's get back into this, okay? So anyway, yeah, Chad comes over there and I'm guessing he senses that I'm about to leave. And it was kind of at this point that I realized that Chad knew that I was coming, which was like a little bit unsettling because I'm like, okay, well, what energy is Chad connected into that led me to come here? Because I didn't even know Chad was going to be there. Do you understand what I'm saying? So I'm like, what energy is Chad tapped into that has enough pull over my reality to direct my steps to come to this place and be here to get some type of information? So I'm like, whoa. So anyways, he comes up there and he pretty much is like, chill. I'm sorry, but he's like, chill. And I'm like, okay. So at this point is when I realized that I'm not just observing, that there's definitely a specific reason I'm here, and that I was brought here specifically for this reason, and I had not gotten the information that I needed yet. So I'm like, okay, well, at least now I know what's going on. I'm like, somebody could have, you know what I'm saying? You could have filled me in. You could have said something. You know, like, everything's got to be all secretive and stuff like that. I'm like, you really could have just said something. So I go and sit back down, and the girl starts acting a fool again. I'm like, okay, like, let's just, hey, come on, like, let's just get this over with, y'all. And so the next thing I know, okay, so everybody's talking, you know, I'm trying to make conversation, trying to be friendly. You know, I'm a kind person, but friendly is, I don't know. Sometimes I'm friendly. It depends on how I'm feeling that day. So I'm kind of a little bit antisocial and stuff like that. And so then I see Chad kind of give me this look like, you need to like try, like look like you're blending in. And so I'm like, okay, fine. So I get into my social bag, right? And I start being social, and I was actually glad because I started kind of sort of having a better time. And so the next thing I know, it's 4 men that walk in that look like they're part of like the Chinese mafia, child. And I'm like, oh, hell no. Hell to the no. And then I realized again, oh, this is why they didn't want to tell me what was going on, because they know I am not about to, how did I get into this situation? How did I get into this situation? So then I understood why I was not filled in before everything went down. So I'm like, okay. So at this point, I'm like, I don't know how Chad knows these people. And the other people around were acting like the mafia, the Chinese mafia or whatever, didn't just walk into the building. So I'm over here like, okay, I'm going to have to keep calm because I don't know if they have guns. I don't know. Like, so I'm like, okay. So I was like, okay, I guess we just sit here and just act like we don't see them. Is that just like the thing? So my mind is racing now. I'm like, how in the world is Chad connected to the mafia? And what's going on? Like, what is going on? What's going on? And, you know, and they were also very, you know, I don't know if that's the right term, but like, you know, non-descriptive. I don't know. Like, you know, if you were to try, like if they did something and you were like trying to tell the cops or whatever, like you wouldn't really be able to give a description that is, you know, what's the word? You know, like it's just going to look like a very stereotypical idea of what someone with Asiatic descent looks like. And so I was like, this is interesting. I've seen this before in a dream, which I'll talk about that dream later because that was a really intense dream. But so I'm like, okay, so I just, you know, I'm like, okay, fine. I'm just going to play along. Obviously, my guides, who I guess are connected into Chad's guides, wouldn't lead me into a situation where there's going to be a shootout. So, okay, now I didn't see exactly what one of them handed Chad. Now that's the other thing, because I didn't see exactly, but there was an exchange between the two of them though. And so, and it was like small, so it wasn't like some big old thing. It wasn't, you know, it was like a tiny thing. Like if I had to guess, it was probably some type of microchip or, you know, some type of technology or something like that. That probably would be my guess, something like that. Or some type of like really small data file or something. That would probably be my guess about what it was. So then they walk out, you know, the Chinese people walk out. Okay. And I know that they're specifically Chinese. I'm not like just saying that. I know they're specifically Chinese people. Chinese mafia or whatever, you know, dressed to the nines, you know, obviously look different than everyone else because they were super dressed up and stuff. So I'm like, okay, but I do remember that I didn't outwardly see any tattoos, which I also thought was interesting. So I was like, okay, they're into very organized crime. And like I said, again, they don't have a whole lot of identifying features to them, you know, as far as just like on their bodies, you know, like everything is, I don't know how to describe it, but anyway, so Chad walks out with them, and I guess that is my cue that I can go now because I saw what I needed to see, what I came there to see. So I'm like, okay. So I give it like 10 minutes or so. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to give this a while because I don't want to walk out, right afterwards. And so the next thing I know, I'm going downstairs and I'm ready to jet, okay? I'm ready to bolt. Like, I'm trying to get out of here. And I'm passing those semicircle sofas again. And I clearly audibly hear, sit down. And so I'm like, no. Get me out of here. I do not want to stay any longer. I don't know what's going on. I don't want to stay any longer. I'm getting out. So they're like, sit down. So I sit down. I'm like, fine. So I sit down. And as I sit down, I kid you not, as I sit down, did I already say his name? Okay. As I'm sitting down, one of our presidents, that's what I say, one of our presidents walks in. And by this time, I'm rolling my eyes because I'm like, okay. I'm like, is this just like the hot spot? Like, and I might actually look up this place and put the name of this place down there because maybe it's really significant. But this ex-president walks in. And so I'm like, hold on now. Wait a minute now. And he also like went up to the bar and he got something from the bartender. So that's when I realized that the mafia people gave something to Chad and then they left something downstairs for this ex-president. And so I'm like, oh, okay, so they're all in the bed with each other. They're all in the bed with each other. And I'm like, this place must be a ruse. This place must be a sham. And they just come here to do all of these strange business deals and, sneaky stuff like this. I'm like, okay, this is why there's barely anyone in here and blah, 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 because it's all just a sham. And so this ex-president couldn't see me. And I didn't realize that because after he picked up whatever, so he literally went to the bar, the same one I went to originally, and he picked up something from the bartender, which was also very obvious. But that's when I figured that I must be invisible or something because he didn't even look my way. Usually when people are doing something shady or, trying to do something under the table, they usually check around just to make sure that nobody is looking. It's like a natural instinct. But he did that deal and I saw him and I was like, okay, so they must not be able to see me. So he ends up walking out. I'm like, let me get out of here. And so as I'm walking out behind him, he has a limo, excuse me, that he's waiting for. Now, that means, okay, so wait, let me explain again. So there's a limo outside waiting for him. And outside, he's got his kids and his wife, okay, in the limousine, where he just went to go do this shady business situation. And so I was literally, because none of them could see me, I was literally looking at these kids, and they're not kids, but I'm just saying the energy of them are like, in this regard, they're his children. Like, they're adults, but, still, they're his kids. And so I'm, like, looking in the limousine. I'm looking in all their faces, and all of them were kids, energetic-wise, just young. Like, of course, they've done certain stuff and blah, 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 blah. But as far as, like, they're kids spiritually. And so I'm looking at his wife and, whatever. And I just remember thinking, like, wow, you are so selfish because you literally brought not only your wife, but also your kids to this situation that could have ended badly. Like, this Chinese mafia person saw your limo and your kids. What if they decide that they wanted to do something and now you put these people in danger and they don't even know the weight of what is going on? Okay. So then I woke up. That's what I woke up on. And I was highly annoyed. Okay. I was highly annoyed. And I was annoyed because this was either, I'm pretty sure this was the 24th going into Christmas. Okay? Because right after that, which will probably give it away, but still, I did a little bit of discretion, okay? And I've talked about it before, too. But literally, so Ray and I have this awesome Christmas with our family and stuff like that. And we're like ending Christmas because, you know, my birthday is the next day on the 26th. We're ending Christmas, which I think was the annular solar eclipse that year was on my birthday. So we're ending Christmas. We're like, you know, on YouTube. We're laughing at things. You know, we finally got the kids, you know, to sleep. Family left for Christmas and stuff. So we're like winding down. And the next thing we know, Chad then posted a music video the night after Christmas, or was it going into Christmas? I can't remember. I think it was going into my birthday. About war, child. About war. It was the music. It was a video about war. And I was like, who does this? Christmas. Like, why would you post this for Christmas? Like, it's the next day after Christmas, but I'm like, but why would you post this for Christmas? It was the strangest thing. Yeah. And then what happened in 2020 with Wuhan and all of this crazy stuff breaking out? So I still haven't exactly found how Chad is connected into all of this. The ex-president, I could definitely see how they could be involved, but I still don't know how Chad is, you know, connected into all this. It's very wild to me. So, yeah. So, that's the dream I had today. I've got to go do something. Actually, I think I might do one more video and then go do some things. Yeah, I'm going to definitely see about that. But anyways, I hope that you made some connections to some things. And if you've had any similar experiences, I would love to hear it, you know. Make sure that you do all the fun things that we do here on YouTube. It's like, comment, subscribe, share, heavy on the commenting. 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, come back 3 months, 6 months, and come and comment again. I would love to hear about it, especially when the channel is still, you know, small and I can easily touch people. And I know I say that like I'm probably going to say that a few times, but I just want to say, because, you know, people, you know, sometimes this might be the first video that they hear. So, all right, my friends, my name is DeeDee, and come back. Bye.